In the first video, we discussed the Allen life, which stands for lay out the case for life. In the second video, we now examine the Ian life, which stands for introduce the baby. What we want to do is get the abortion advocate to see that there is really no difference of humanity between a baby who is a few months old and the unborn in the womb. You see, abortion advocates like to argue that because the fetus or the unborn is in the early stages of development, it's not fully human. It lacks certain functions, abilities, and self-awareness. Therefore, to them, abortion isn't actually killing a human life. However, based on the second point of our pro-life argument, science clearly proves the unborn are indeed full-fledged members of the human family. So what we want to do here is take the abortion advocate's argument and apply it to, let's say, a 6-month-old baby. Now, no one in their right mind would say it's perfectly okay to kill a 6-month-old baby just because it's still in the early stages of learning to walk and talk. Likewise, when you examine the genetic makeup of an unborn baby and you compare it to a newborn or a 6-month-old baby, we discover that there is nothing morally permissible to allow the killing of an unborn baby in its early stages of development. Let's use the acronym SHAPE to illustrate this. For example, the size of a bigger baby is no more of a person than the unborn. We wouldn't dismiss a baby crawling on the floor from being any less human than an adult walking. As mentioned in the first video, we all began as a tiny zygote, which was of no less value than we are now. In regard to the habitation of the unborn, a person's relative distance from the birth canal is not what distinguishes being partially human from being fully human. We were all conceived in our mother's womb, and we are of no less valuable than we are now. Furthermore, just because the unborn lacks certain abilities as it develops certain properties like ears and hands and arms and feet, doesn't disqualify the unborn as being less human. It simply means that the unborn is in a stage that is developing the capacity to do what human persons do because it is a living, whole human being. Likewise, when you were developing certain humanistic abilities in your mother's womb, it didn't mean you were any less human than you are now. And finally, just because the unborn are dependent on certain essentials while in the womb to live, doesn't make them any less human. When you and I were in our mother's womb, we were dependent on them for essentials such as oxygen and nutrients and an environment to help us live and to thrive until we came to full term. Even a 6-month-old baby is dependent on certain essentials provided by a parent or guardian to continue living. Now, after pointing out that the developmental shape of an unborn baby doesn't make it any less human, you can press for a response by asking this question to the abortion advocate. Based on the evidence I just laid out for you, do you believe that your mother would have been morally justified if she chose to abort you at any stage of you being an embryo or a fetus? You see, to say that abortion is okay because the fetus is in the early stages of development is begging the question. It's assuming the fetus isn't human. But again, we've proven both scientifically and philosophically that the unborn may not be fully mature or developed, but they are living whole human beings.